Florence is the city of the performance. It is here that the opera was born. It is here that the story of the theater was made. The city still houses very important historical theaters, and many important cultural institutions are active in town that allow you to include a very interesting evening of performance to your stay in the city. We have historical Renaissance theaters and more modern ones, like Giunti, Odeon, where we are today, very unique cinema, theater, and also today a library. Let's discover together the fascinating history of theater in Florence. The history of theater in Florence starts in the Middle Ages, when in the churches along the streets there were a really interesting spectacle staged during religious festivities, or even during the markets, or on every single day. The theater was happening on the street. It was in the Renaissance that the situation starts changing, with the intellectuals discovering the Roman and the Greek heritage, discovering the classical authors of the drama, and they start organizing the performances of discovered classical texts within their palaces. This is exactly how the story of the opera starts, when the Compagnia dei Bardi digs deeper into the history of Greek drama and imagines that Greek dramas were actually sung. And so initially, just as an intellectual activity held inside of this little company of the Florentine noblemen, that they start to stage spectacles with the actors performing and singing together. The foundation of the duchy ruled by the Medici family gave a lot of energy and money for the development of the opera. The Medici bankers, who became Dukes of Florence, needed a performance to establish the fame, the public image of the dynasty as wealthy, important European rulers. And this is why Ferdinand de' Medici, who in 1589 married Christine of Lorraine, invested a lot of money in the festive celebrations of his wedding, including the staging of a comedy, La Pellegrina, which was interrupted with musical breaks that were actually performed and sung. This is the very, very beginning of the actual opera staged in a theater. The brain behind this magnificent performance was the Medici's court architect, Bernardo Bontalenti, who not only designed the stage design, the costumes, the marvelous machines that were used by the actors to move around the stage, but he also designed the actual theater used by the Medici family that existed inside of the Uffizi complex. This theater doesn't exist any longer, but it was actually the great-grandfather of the Italian-styled theaters that were then built across the peninsula. For long centuries, the theater spectacles were actually private events organized by the academicians for the restricted public of the noblemen. That situation will start changing during the 1700s, where the theaters will open for the general public. In Florence still today, you can find some historical theaters open for the public that organize both dramas and musical concerts. We have a magnificent opera theater run by the Maggio Musicale Fiorentino, and with a little bit of planning ahead, you can actually include a magnificent evening dedicated to music or opera as a part of your stay in Florence. Which are the historical, which are the important theaters in Florence? Let's discover that together. The oldest still active theater in Florence is Teatro Niccolini. Its origins date back to the mid-17th century. It was then called Teatro del Cocomero, and it was born by the will of a group of the Florentine noblemen who bought portions of a Palazzo Ughi in Via del Cocomero to actually establish there the theater for their academic activities. In the 20th century, it became a stable theater dedicated to Italian prose, and it hosted actually some very important performances by Ingrid Bergman. In the 20th century, it became a stable theater dedicated to Italian prose. It hosted many important performances, these spectacles by Ingmar Bergman, Vittorio Gassman, and the Florentine performer Paolo Poli. It actually fell in decay, and in the early 2000s, it actually had to be occupied by a collective that organized inside conferences, meetings, putting emphasis on the importance of cultural sites inside of the center of Florence. And so the municipality decided to restore the theater and to reopen it in 2016 in collaboration with Teatro della Pergola, giving life again to this important cultural institution in the city. Teatro della Pergola is another very important cultural institution in the city, one of the oldest in town, inaugurated in 1657 as a theater organized by the Accademia degli Immobili. After the inauguration of Teatro del Cocomero, today's Teatro Niccolini, the academicians understood that that theater was not big enough for their academic activities, and therefore they promoted the construction of Teatro della Pergola. The theater had this very innovative form. It was designed by Ferdinando Tacca, and it actually included for the first time in Florence the horseshoe plan with the booths for noble families located on the upper levels around the stage, with every single palco belonging to one of the noble dynasties who actually had the right to participate from there to all the performances. Still today in the hall of the theater you can find some of the coats of arms that originally used to decorate doors to those very palchi, to those very spaces around the stage. Besides the existence of the boxes for the Florentine nobility, the Teatro della Pergola has really an incredible acoustics. This is why I really advise you to check if there is a possibility to actually visit the theater for a musical concert, because the chamber music performed in the theater resonates in this unique way across the whole space. The theater was open to the paying public in 1718, and since then it continues to be an essential cultural institution in Florence. It organizes seasons of prose, and the spectacles that are staged in Italian, so if you want to assist to them you would have to have at least a basic knowledge of Italian language. But there also is the association Amici della Musica, the music's friends, that organize at Teatro della Pergola a season of chamber music concerts. And this is actually a very, very interesting cultural activity here in Florence that you can add to your stay in town. In 1807, the impresario Luigi Gargani bought several properties around the convent of Annalena in the Oltrarno neighborhood to actually create there a theater. In 1817, 10 years later, the Teatro Goldoni was inaugurated with Goldoni's comedy Il Burbero Benefico. And since then, it was an active theater that had different moments of glory and then decline, fell a little bit in disuse under Habsburg-Lorraine, reopened. Recently, 2022, we have a new life given to this important historical stage in Florence, thanks to the association Teatro delle Donne, a group of actors, directors who actually promote female theatrical production that get the right to use Teatro Goldoni as their permanent site. Today you can book a spectacle, you can see a spectacle at Teatro Goldoni. I'm leaving you in the description of the video the link to the official website of this cultural association. Besides these historical theaters, Florence also has modern cultural institutions that organize different types of performances, including prose and opera. The most important of them is Teatro del Maggio Musicale Fiorentino, today a very modern complex that is built outside at the very edge of the historical center, close to the Cascine Park. It actually is a new construction that substituted the old Teatro Comunale, the municipal theater that fell in disuse a few decades ago. Teatro del Maggio Musicale is one of the most important cultural institutions of Italy in terms of opera and symphonic music. Its story starts with the foundation of the festival Maggio Musicale Fiorentino in 1933. The name of this festival might seem surprising, the musical May. It refers to the feast of Calende di Maggio, which back in the Renaissance was known for different street festivities, performances that were celebrating the arrival of spring. This festival runs uninterruptedly since the 1930s and actually is one of the most important opera musical festivals in Italy. Many important music directors keep collaborating with the Florentine theater, including Zubin Mehta, Riccardo Muti, and countless important singers actually performed here in Florence. An opera night in Florence is definitely a thing to think about if you are a lover of classical music. And again, I'm leaving you a website of the Maggio Musicale Fiorentino where you can check if during your stay there actually are some interesting performances that you want to assist. The largest Italian-style theater in Tuscany is located in Florence, and it's today's Teatro Verdi, that is a house to the Orchestra della Toscana, ORT Foundation, and it organizes today all kinds of spectacles. The theater dates back to 1854, when it was inaugurated as Teatro del Paliano, and is actually the first spectacle stage there was Verdi's Rigoletto. In this long history, the theater used to host operas, but also drama performances and musical concerts. And today it's a great place where to approach Italian classical music through the events organized by Orchestra della Toscana. Another very interesting cultural institution is the Florentine Teatro Puccini. Again, located out of the center and housed in a very interesting building from the 1940s and designed in the style of Italian rationalism. This theater was thought as a teatro dopo lavoro for the workers, so the after-work theater for the workers hired in the Florentine Manifattura Tabacchi, the tobacco factory. This is why it has this very original architectonical form and is a part of the Manifattura Tabacchi. Today it's an institution focused on Italian prose, so if you are interested in theater, you have a basic knowledge of Italian, you can actually check if some performances might be of your interest. Less of music is staged inside, but it's a very, very lively cultural institution, very important for the Florentine public. And what about historical cinemas? The most beautiful cinema in Florence is where we are now, Cinema Odeon. And the history of this place starts in the 1890s when this part of Florence was subjected to very big transformations with the demolitions of the Jewish ghetto and the renovation, the creation of today's Piazza della Repubblica. This is when Eleonora Duse convinced Florentines to create here a cinema, a theater. A beautiful design that was made by Alfonso Coppede. It's a theater designed in Art Nouveau style with the beautiful decorative columns, the beautiful, as you can see, dome with the stained glass window. The theater was inaugurated in 1922, and for long time actually promoted the cinema culture of Italy. During more modern times, in the 20th century, in the early 2000s, the most important cinema creators actually were invited here for the promotion of their movies. Roberto Benigni, all the most important Italian directors. It has always been a very important cultural institution in the city. And myself, when I came to Florence 15 years ago, I was a permanent guest of Cinema Odeon, also because they were staging the movies in original language. Then the decay, the age of this building required restoration. It was obvious that some works have to be carried out, and unfortunately Florence started to suffer a lot from mass tourism, with the number of residents in the center actually diminishing, and so the number of the guests of Cinema Odeon dropping. And this is when this big collaboration was carried out between the cinema and Giunti libraries, and when the architects managed to restore this space, changing the actual central area into a library. It's a very beautiful example of a restoration of a historical building, which brought new life to this institution, but today faces another danger, which are influencers and tourists that come to the city without the respect for Florence itself, and actually put this place at risk again. If you decide to come here to explore this space, and you can actually come here also for a cinema evening, as it's a library during the day and a cinema from 9 p.m. Please be respectful, respect the silence, respect the fact that people work here, and just keep this place as it is important for the locals. I hope this video helped you in understanding a little bit the contemporary performance stage in Florence, and that it helped you to understand better where to go and what to do if you want to include an opera or a cinema or a theater night during your stay in Florence.